Do you need a break from the cesspool that is DeFi? You most likely got into the space thinking that DeFi means decentralized finance, but then you learned that it actually means degenerate filth. And it seems even worse lately. Every week there's another exploit or rug pull, or a new addition to the sea of rebasing tokens and miners that promise stupid high APYs and then completely fail to deliver on them in real money terms because of whales draining the contract or faulty tokenomics. Got some ideas for a couple of videos coming up just on that. But fear not, there are quality projects out there. You just got to be able to find them and to recognize them when you do. I want to talk about one today that may or may not fit that bill. So let's dig in and find out. G'day folks, it's Tony here, aka Crypto Aussie, back with another video, and today I want to talk about a new opportunity that I found called Wolfer Finance. Okay, so here we are on the Wolfer Finance website. So what is this about? Well, in their words, this is the first of its kind cryptocurrency income, non-traditional investor funded institution aiming to sustain and scale the assets under management consistently and safely over time, to increase the income and portfolios of the investors that believe in this business and institution. All right, that's a lot of words, but what does it actually mean? Well, in my words, it's essentially a crypto investment vehicle similar to yield nodes, if you're familiar with that, but with a broader investment remit. So there's no coin, there's no farm, no yield farms, no pools, there's no DApp. Basically, you mint an NFT first. Secondly, the money raised from the mint is invested into a diversified portfolio of passive income opportunities. And third, your NFT that you minted entitles you to a share of the income from those investments for as long as you hold it. So that's the basic structure. Now let's dig into each of those elements in turn. So first of all, how will the mint work? There's going to be one mint, one time. So they're looking for just one set of initial investors, and that's it. That doesn't mean that you can't get in at a later time. But if you do want to get in later, then your only option will be to buy one of the NFTs on the secondary market, so on OpenSea or somewhere like that. There'll be a maximum of 5,000 NFTs minted and a maximum of 100 per wallet. Each NFT will cost the equivalent of $500 in Matic, and there'll be 4 different NFTs. It's very clear in the documentation that there'll be no difference between the NFTs in terms of share of income, but there will be a difference in terms of access to future projects. Now, 93% of the NFTs minted will be what they're calling Omega Wolves, and that's the standard common wolf. The other 7% will be higher ranking NFTs, and they will have greater access, as I said, to future whitelists, future projects, but the same share of income as the Omega Wolves. So the mint itself is due to take place sometime in June, but the whitelist will open this Friday, May 20th at noon Central Standard Time. Okay, so the second question is, what will the fund actually invest in? Now, they're keeping this under their hat for the moment because that's essentially the secret sauce. But if you take a look on the website, if we go to this page here, there is a bit of investment information, if you like. So just looking at this, there's a lot of descriptive words here, including solid, tried and true, safe and secure, sustainable, consistent. There are also some examples given without actually naming them in some of the documentation. And if you know the market well, you could probably take a decent guess at a couple of them. And I'm pretty sure there's no shit miners or rebasing tokens amongst them. So the upshot is they want us to believe that they'll be investing in good quality projects. And that's essentially a large part of what we're paying for here, their expertise in finding good quality projects for us. So now the third element, how will the income be distributed to NFT holders? We've got a page here called Wolfernomics. You can see here 50% of the income generated every month will be distributed evenly to all Wolfer Finance NFT asset holders. 45% will be reinvested back into the opportunities that they're already invested in and or securing new assets. And 5% goes to essentially the team. So what sort of return should you expect from this? Well, they're suggesting $120,000 per month from investments initially. So that's about a 5% return per month. They expect that to grow over time, though, to much bigger numbers, because there's 45% obviously being reinvested back into those investments every month. So that suggests that over time that should grow quite a bit. And they're aiming for a 1,300% ROI over 5 years. Now, what's cool about that is that if they hit it, then each NFT holder will be paid 13 times their initial investment over the next 5 years, which is about $6,500 for each $500 NFT. Plus, with the 45% monthly reinvestment, the value of the investments by then should be much bigger, which means that there should be progressively higher monthly distributions. And you'll still hold the actual NFT, the value of which at that point should be several orders of magnitude higher than the mint price, because of the amount of assets and the amount of distribution of income that it gives you a share of. Now, of course, there are no guarantees. The returns might end up being much lower than that, depending on the performance of the overall market and the specific investments, but they could potentially be higher as well. They say here that the estimates are made on the basis that the market goes sideways. So if you believe that it's going up over this time frame, then that's positive for this project. Now, as this is an investment vehicle, you're probably going to want to know who is going to be deciding what this thing invests in. And that is the founder, this guy here, Drew Wolfer. Now, he's fully doxed, which is great. He's even included his business docs on the website. So you can go in here and see the articles of organization, statement, federal employer identification number. So he's provided a lot more information than most do in this business. And that's great. But it doesn't necessarily mean that giving him your money is a good investment. Well, the fact that he's doxed means that we can look into him a little bit more. So here's his LinkedIn profile. He's a young guy, I'm guessing maybe 30 years old or so. He's done some cool stuff. So he's had an e-commerce business that appears to have done quite well. He has had a couple of different jobs in cybersecurity and that sort of stuff. Nothing in here, though, tells me that he knows the crypto markets really well. Nothing in here tells me that he is a super expert in crypto markets and therefore I should trust him with my money to invest it on my behalf. So I think the best way to dig into that a little bit more is actually his YouTube channel. So he's got that here as well. 2.67K subscribers, so that's not a lot. If you go down here, let's look at the videos. Go down here. He's been posting videos on crypto for about 3 months. So not a long period of time. That said, though, if you watch a few of the videos, in my opinion, his analysis is generally pretty solid and he's not afraid to call out the bullshit. So there's a lot in here around Ponzi schemes and scams and critically analyzing a lot of the projects that are in the DeFi space, which is good. And I look at that and, you know, it gives me a little bit more confidence that this guy actually knows what he's doing. So again, take that for what it's worth. I think if you give this a shot, then you need to make sure you realize that you're not backing someone who has decades in the market. There's no crusty old investor here. You're backing an ambitious digital native millennial who seems to have a decent analytical brain sitting on his shoulders. Take that as you will. One other question you might be asking relevant to that is, why put your money into this rather than just investing directly yourself? So here's a couple of potential reasons. First one is that pooling resources gives this project access to things that a retail investor normally wouldn't have access to because they're too expensive or they're too technical, so like masternodes, for example. Secondly, even if you're not totally certain about Drew's experience, it's clear to me from watching a bunch of his YouTube videos that he knows the market better than most. So unless you're an expert yourself, then you are probably going to be better off trusting him to invest some of your money than trying to do it yourself. And thirdly, I don't want to be too blunt about this one, but something like this can often save you from yourself. So many people get wrecked by making too many moves and getting sucked into things that they shouldn't be within a million miles of. Whereas this, on the other hand, is a set and forget type of investment that takes that temptation away. So to summarize, what do I like? I like that they're not promising bazillion % APYs. I can actually believe the returns that they're promising in this project, and they're well above what I could get from stocks, term deposits, staking stablecoins, and all those sort of alternatives. This is literally the opposite of a Ponzi scheme. There's only one round of capital raising, and then that capital will be used to invest in opportunities that provide income that pay those investors back. So there's no constant stream of new investors required to fund the project and to pay out old investors. Third, I like that Drew is fully doxed and fully transparent about who he is and his background. And he's even put a whole lot of legal docs on the website, which is a great sign that he's going to do everything he can to deliver on this. Fourth, your capital is liquid. So you can leave at any time by just selling your NFT, assuming there's demand for it on the secondary market. Now, what am I concerned about? Well, the returns are much lower than other DeFi projects. So is this the best use of my money? That said, though, it's still 1,300% in 5 years, and that's assuming the market goes sideways. If you had your money in the stock market for the last 5 years, you would have made 65%. So 1,300% sounds pretty damn good in that context. Second, Drew's expertise is essentially an unknown quantity. Now, I've presented a reasonable amount of information in this video about who he is and his background. I have provided you in the description with some resources where you can go and find more information, watch his YouTube videos. You need to make up your own mind about that. And third, we don't actually know what he's going to invest in. So he says there'll be legitimate passive income opportunities, but for all we know, they could be a bunch of miners and rebasing tokens. Although that would be a pretty massive departure from his current brand. And that would be clear to you if you watch a few of his videos on his YouTube channel. So bottom line, I think this could be potentially a sensible, low risk, long-term play that could pay very attractive dividends over a multi-year period. In particular, it would be ideal for those who want a place to put their money and not worry about it for an extended period of time, knowing that it's growing in value and that it's paying you a monthly paycheck over that time. Crypto Aussie's outrageously expensive lawyer here. My client is not a financial advisor. In fact, he is not an advisor of any sort. Nothing he says should be considered financial advice or an investment recommendation of any type. Cryptocurrencies are inherently risky, and it is therefore incredibly important that you do your own research and make your own decisions. And if you feel like you need advice, then you should get it from someone who is trusted, qualified, and ideally ridiculously expensive. Like me, but not Crypto Aussie. That guy is barely able to tie his own shoes. But as long as he keeps paying my inhumanly expensive fees out of his crypto earnings, I really don't care whether he can tie his shoes or not. Now, if you'll excuse me, it's time for me to go and get another super rich client to buy me a very long and very boozy lunch. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. He has a tendency to just butt in uninvited at times. But to be super clear, I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. And I am not recommending that you invest in Wolfer Finance. This video is purely information with hopefully a bit of entertainment thrown in. So make sure you do your own research and make your own decisions. With that said, if you are interested in Wolfer Finance, what are the next steps? Well, as I mentioned earlier, the waitlist opens on Friday, May the 20th at noon Central Standard Time. Note that you don't need to have your Matic ready then. You just need to sign up to the waitlist and to indicate how many NFTs you're interested in potentially buying. There are also NFT giveaways happening on Twitter right now, so I suggest that's probably the best place to start. The link to the Twitter account that you need to be following is in the description. I'd also suggest that you check out the additional resources that I've linked in the description. These include the investor overview, the elevator pitch, the Discord channel, the Wolfer Finance website, Drew's YouTube channel. There will also be a detailed investment document called the Wolf Paper. It's yet to be released, but it will come out before the mint, so I'd definitely check that out as well. Links for all those are in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, drop us a comment in the comments below, and make sure you hit that subscribe button and also smash the bell icon to make sure you're notified every time I drop a new video. And if you want to take your crypto investing experience to the next level, make sure you check out the Sat Stackers Mastermind, a super active and very supportive group of crypto investors. And we talk about opportunities like this and many others day in and day out. As part of the Mastermind, we also get access to a range of limited and even exclusive opportunities that you will not find anywhere else. So if that sounds cool to you, the link for that is also in the description. Or you can hit me up in the comments if you've got any questions. That's it. See you next time.